Hey guys, what's going on? Druzy here, back again with another South Park Phone Destroyer video, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different this month. I may not do this very often, but I feel like normally I do a monthly meta or a quarterly meta update. I haven't done one yet for the second quarter, and some of you may prefer that format over this, but I think for this second quarter of this year, I'm going to do this format a little bit differently. So I'm going to talk about the top cards right now in the meta, what the bottom cards are in the meta right now, and then we'll look at some of what are considered the better decks or most used decks in top tier ladder right now in the game. Now this may not be as reliable for people in bronze and people in silver shield, which I know that some of my viewers are in that area, but I feel like this might be something different to do on occasion every so often, but again, not all the time. So where I'm getting this information is actually from a website. It's called sppdreplay.net. I will leave a link in the description for this website if you guys want to check it out yourself. It does have some nice deck suggestions, a couple of different things. It helps with team wars and stuff like that. So it is a very useful site. So that will be in the description below if you are interested in that. So again, this is the top 250 players, so you can see that here on screen, right, with where it says filter rank top 250, and this is over the last 2 weeks. So the number one card in the game use-wise is Mecha Timmy. As you can see, almost 60% of decks in the top 250 use Mecha Timmy, and you see a lot of sci-fi, and of course adventure is fairly widely used. Satan 50%, Sizzler 57, Psalm is 47.2. You got Hanky up there in the 40s, and you have Kenny Lightning Bolt. So very top end cards right now, obviously for sci-fi and adventure, and then of course the top two cards arguably easily in neutral theme with Satan and Mr. Hanky. Has a lot of value for both those cards. Satan, of course, widely used. It doesn't matter. Once you've unlocked him, even if you're not in Legendary Arena, he is all over the place. Shieldmate and Wendy, Dragon Slayer Red, roundup there for Fantasy. It's kind of surprising to me that Mind Control, in almost 26% of decks right now in the top 250, I get that Mind Control has some value. I feel like a lot of times right now in this meta, and maybe I could be wrong, at least in high Legendary, like above 8,000, it seems like the goal is just to get a bar and then just play defense. Maybe, obviously there's potential to get 2 to 3 bars, right? But it feels like most people are going for let's just get 1 bar and then just play to win. It's get 1 bar either as quickly as possible or, go for the 1-0 win. That just seems to be what I'm noticing more often, I think. Maybe a 2 to 1 bar victory. I don't see a lot of draws in ladder. I do during current events and stuff like that. When there are card usage events like this last weekend, a crap ton of draws for a lot of people in the fantasy event. But I feel like most, again, just kind of go for 1 bar and then that's kind of it. Utterly Combustion's pretty high up there, obviously. Gnomes, Call Girl, Medusa Bebe. I'm going to be honest, I figured Medusa Baby would be higher up. Obviously, it's high up for, of course, Mystical, because she's arguably one of, if not the best range card right now in the meta. Call Girl, you could debate is better because she's right above her. Unfortunate Jimmy, of course, low cost. Kyle the Droves has seen a huge resurgence in the meta from his recent buff. I mean, that shielding is just insane. Obviously, Hanky's used a lot. He's very high up on this list. So Kyle the Droves has seen a huge bump up. I'm kind of surprised to see Coon so high on the even higher than Professor Chaos. That's really surprising. I feel like Chaos is the most consistent superhero card in the game. I mean, obviously he's probably used in every superhero deck at high tier. As you can see, it's Mysterion, Cargirl, Hamsters, Mosquito, Coon, and Chaos. All there towards the top. Ninja, of course, is high. Energy Staff is high as well. Ice Sniper Wendy, really? At almost 14%? Seriously? That's a huge shocker. I know she got a buff recently. Warboy Tweak makes more sense to me. 4S Monkey has seen a resurgence. Castle Defender makes sense. Ice Sniper Wendy? That is interesting. I did not see that coming. I'm kind of surprised Scout Ike is so low, to be honest. I figured he'd be a little bit higher. I feel like Dar is probably fallen out of the meta as well as Mary Jane Randy. Just a little bit. Pope Timmy's only at 9%? Really? That is also weird, because I feel like in every mystical deck I face, Pope Timmy's in it. Um, so that's interesting to see that kind of down there. We'll kind of go through this again. Hunter Jimbo, he's probably going to get higher up on that list unless he gets tweaked, just because he's so widely used. I see him a ton in silver and in events because he seems to be an event card quite a bit. Let's go down towards the bottom. Let's see what the bottom of the barrel is here. LL Tweak, alternate human kite. So both the kites, 0.03, 0.03%. Lava as well. Lava undervalued to me. Imp Tweak, I get it. He's situational. He's not going to work every time. Towley, really? At 0.03? At top 250? PC Principles falling out. Mephisto makes sense to me. Swashbuckler needs a change unless she wants to go up. But Hyperdrive. So at 0.03%, it looks like there's about 10 cards? 11 cards. 11 cards at 0.03%. Robin Tweak and below. Swashbuckler just above that. Heidi, of course, she's been nerfed into oblivion. Captain Wendy. Commander Hat, 0.8%. Or I'm sorry, 0.08%. I feel like, I don't know, I really like where Commander Hat's at, but I guess I haven't seen him in top end like very often. I'm sure just because a lot of people don't have him leveled. I think once people get him leveled, you'll see him a little bit more. Of course, crowd favorites like Cupid and Dog Poo are pretty low. 69 Randy, Gunslinger Kyle, of course, Program Stan, Deckhand Butters, Ike, Clyde and Butters, Chopper, Friar Jimmy. Wow, Friar Jimmy is 0.16. And Pocahontas Randy is seriously 0.16%. Okay. Soul, if you're watching this, don't look at this next one. Robo Bebe's down there low. President Garrison is low. Dark Mage Craig is 0.21. What a world we live in where Starvin Marvin and Dark Mage Craig is used more often than Pocahontas Randy at top 250. Wow. That's interesting. It's just interesting. Again, I'll leave a link for this in the description so you can check it out more in depth if you want to. But let's look at some of the top decks now. So if you look here at average deck cost, this is kind of interesting to also kind of take into consideration. The top average deck cost, about 62 different types of decks at top, or 62 players in top 250 run about a 3.8 energy cost deck. I feel like I run more right around 3.5 maybe to 3.6, 3.7 is what I try to strive for. I have some decks that are in the fours. As you can see, fours are up there too. 4 is 29. You got 38 for 3.9. I feel like I want to say 3.7 is more right around where I normally play at. I'm not 100%, but that just seems to be for me. But there's even one player that has a 4.8. That's a bold person to be doing that. But the top or most used deck right now is this Adventure Sci-Fi deck here on the top with Som, Ink and Craig, Inuit Kenny, Mecha Timmy, Sixth, Lightning, Mind Control, Space, Visitors, Hanky, then you've got Sizzler and Satan. Very potent deck, obviously. You know, you got Chip with Ink and Craig, you've got, you know, Swarm, ability to deal with Swarm with Som and Satan, right? You got Sizzler Stewart, who's just so strong right now in this meta. Visitors can just chip away everything. Space Warrior, and you know, can just kind of do his own thing. You got 2 different spells with Lightning Bolt, Mind Control, and then of course Inuit Kenny's your main cancel. Hanky, of course, is just going to allow you to do, you know, to get 6 element Randy off more often, to get Mecha Timmy, Som, and Space Warrior token. I could see why this has almost 24% use rate. And so I guess if you're top 250, is this a style of deck that you run into a lot? I've heard a lot of people in some other Discords mention that this is a very cancerous combination. They see it a lot. I have not. I'm sure I've seen this style of deck many times. I think I'm just kind of immune to it by now, maybe. We got another high use percent, Mystical Sci-Fi. I feel like I see this more often, just maybe instead of Dark Mage Craig or Dark Angel Red, I feel like I see more Mecha Timmy and then not, or I'm sorry, Pope Timmy minus Mecha Timmy and Dark Angel Red, and maybe, I don't know, something else. I don't know what else it would be. Maybe Visitors? I could, well, Visitors is in this deck, so I honestly don't know what the change is, but I feel like maybe Pope and like Juice Got Ike or something. I'm not 100% what would be different, but I don't feel like I see this deck quite so often. I just don't feel like I see a lot of Dar anymore. But I guess it seems to be very popular in the last 2 weeks, so it definitely seems to be up there. And here we see the first one with Kylo the Drow Elves. Remember, he has seen a huge surge, right? And then this is a very swarm-oriented style deck. Obviously, you got Underpants Gnomes, you've got Gizmo Ike potential to get all that swarm with Shieldmaiden Wendy, Dar, Sizzler, 4S Monkey. I mean, this is a deck I have not personally seen that much, but I get it. I also feel like maybe some of this could be tied because of the most recent events, right? There's been a lot of sci-fi events recently, so that could be a reason why sci-fi is so potent in this. And fantasy was the most recent event after that. The first, we got a sci-fi superhero deck, which is this is a little bit different than what I run. I'm not saying this is bad. This is much different than what I run. This looks like a much higher cost than what I normally would run because you got Satan and Call Girl both with Disarray. So I think the tricky part with this is you have a lot of potential that you could bring in with Call Girl. So you may not get the value you would want. You might get General Disarray on accident. Mysterion could be popped, obviously. But most likely with Call Girl, you'd want either Coon already out and then deploy her with Mintberry Crunch over top of it. Would be the ideal play. But yeah, I don't think I've seen this variant that often, to be honest. But I'm not top 250 because I suck at this game. So, you know, that's an interesting one there. Adventure Fantasy, 10.28. Got Psalm, Incan, Cock Magic. That's a lot of basically multiple spells, right? You got 2 cancels essentially with Inuit Kenny and Cock Magic. You've got Lightning Bolt to kind of deal with a lot of annoyance. Castle Defender I get, especially paired with Cock Magic. Cock Magic's not going to affect your Archer, at least, for Castle Defender. So that's interesting. Maybe, I feel like more people might throw Leanne in here, potentially, over Cock Magic, depending on what they're going up against. An Adventure Super deck, which I'm kind of shocked at 8%, with Mary Jane Randy, who's fallen out of the meta a little bit. Very heavy. A ton of legendary cards in this deck. And a lot of focus on superheroes, obviously, for this one. More, and then just some of the top end, the 2 top end adventure cards. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder what the bottom one is. So the lowest percentage is an Adventure Mystical deck at almost 4% with Witch Doctor, Inuit, Psalm, Pope Timmy. I feel like I see this one a bit more often. You got 2 potential cards that could bring back units, right, with Pope Timmy and Dar. Dar would most likely be used to save Medusa Bebe, most likely, out of anything. Maybe to double Incan Beam. I'm very shocked that this specific deck here does not have Zen Carbon. That's really shocking to me. Decently high cost, though, so I get the Energy Staff with that, because you got Incan, Pope, Satan, and Medusa, and Unholy El at, you know, above. Well, you got a lot of 4 units, obviously. Scout Ice going to be there to try to help you get some energy back. So that's interesting. There is a Fantasy Mystical at 5% with Grand Wizard Cartman and Pope, and Dwarf King Clyde. Interesting. So you have 2 double tokens in this deck, which is also very weird. Rogue and Witch Doctor. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't run double of 1 unit, especially one that Rogue to me would probably have more value than Witch Doctor, just because you could deal with swarms easier. Witch Doctor just, I feel like he's one of the worst legendaries in the game right now. Just that health nerf that he got really hurt him more than people give him credit for. So that's interesting. I mean, this is interesting. This is a different way to kind of look at where the meta is right now. More for top end ladder, obviously, than maybe some people at lower arenas. But maybe some of these decks could work for you if you're at a little bit of a lower arena as well. So, you know, you can try some of these out. Maybe I will make some videos trying some of these decks out myself and seeing if I can win with them. But again, I suck, so probably not. But there you go. So something a little bit different. I know you guys would prefer my monthly meta format and stuff like that, but I felt like maybe trying this out for once And this is just something that people have been bringing more and more to my attention in different discords. Maybe not me directly, but just been discussing in Discord. So I figured I'd check it out for myself because I'll be honest, I've been on the site a few times, but it's far and few between. And maybe I need to use it a little bit more often to help me build better decks. Because I mean, people in the top 250, obviously card level matters, but they're probably far more skilled at this game than I am because I've never even been top 250 ever while playing this game. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys found this somewhat interesting, maybe something a little bit different. If you do, please let me know down below. Leave any comments or suggestions for other content going forward. And I will bring the regular format of Monthly Meta back in the future. It's not going away. I just felt like doing it a little bit different this time around. So there you go. Thank you so much. You guys know who it is. And until next time, guys.